Intention is we're going to set the energy, we're going to open up sacred space so that it will hold us, hold the intention that this weekend unfold in a beautiful, harmonious manner to unite Lynn and Sean, and that we're held so sweetly in that place of the great mystery. Please teach us how to step beyond that place of the chaos and the confusion. Teach us how to be the eye in the center of the storm. More importantly, help us to get to that place of imagery and of magic. Help us to learn how to drink only from the divine sweet nectar of life, no longer sourcing from places that no longer feed us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for whispering our ears and touching our hearts yet again, so that we may know how to make a prayer in a good way for this blessed couple, to hold them in that sacred way, in that sacred light, so that poetry be about.
Me too. Wait, I gotta get you out of here.
Pachamama, great mother. Thank you for coming here for the healing of all your children, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy, the crawler, the fin, the fur, the winged. Thank you for being the true alchemist, taking that which no longer serves and mulching it and bringing it back to us in the gifts of gold. Thank you for teaching us that place of the divine feminine. Please teach us how to nurture ourselves and each other this weekend, how to hold each other in that divine light, how to shed that place of the feminine in such a way that all is healed.
Whittling always starts a fire.
I can whittle for you. I got a knife for my birthday.
I never pretend to be this mystic guru and I'm better, you know, it's just like I'm in the muck too, man. And it's like, how do we get through this every day? You know, I've just done a little bit more ceremony and I've done a little bit more, but how do we all help each other and get to that place? And when you make that prayer and ceremony, it's like putting out a grappling hook to that end of that prayer. And then we follow that string. But we have that string, so if all the doors keep opening and everything has a flow, then you know you're in synchronicity, you're in spirit. Doors keep slamming, you know it's you getting in the way, trying to make it be something it's not. Then take a step back, take a breath, ask your higher self, ask, you know, spirit, God, Gala, Allah, however you want to say it, you know, what do I need to see, you know, where do I need to go? And to me, that's what you got. And to just, you know, yeah, be honest with yourself that we're all a work in progress. It's just how much are we willing to listen? How much are we willing, actually more so, get out of our way?
None of us have really hung out very much. We probably all haven't been in the same room in 10 years. We're also spread apart. So
So I went on Match in December, and in May I was like, I don't know, like this isn't working. Let me do a search within 10 miles of West Milford. So all my matches would like, gaze at them and be like, wink, 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 wink. So I just did on a mass winking and saw who bit. And he bit. And I teased him so much because he only winked back. You can wink back or you can write a message. And he only winked back. And I was like, you're damn lucky that I decided to message you. You were good enough to message.
Her messages were like novels. And I'm like, I loved it. And we wrote novels back and forth.
What's the funny coincidence that he actually grew up like 5 minutes from you?
Yeah, like 5-10 minutes from me, and he's literally a year younger than my older sister, one of my older sisters. So we lived this life just passing by, and we wouldn't have met except for Match.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy.
So we had a week of emails, a week of texting, then we set up our date.
And first date, they decided to go to the Museum of Natural History. So they took the bus into New York. We live right near a bus thing. It's like a half hour to New York.
But we walked all the way to the museum, walked all around the museum. He likes it because one of the things we wrote about was like, oh, do you like holding hands? And so I was like, well, yeah, obviously. And so he loves to tell like how I grabbed his hand. I was like, no shame. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna hold hands because he said he liked holding hands. So I was like, well, why not?
I left like, I don't know, 2 in the afternoon, and they didn't come back, and they didn't come back.
And we went to this bar that my brother used to bounce at. So go upstairs, really adorable. We're having drinks. There's a musician, and he's like, now like Brown Eyed Girl is one of our favorite songs because like, it was playing and it's starting to get cozy and like singing Brown Eyed Girl together. And then he goes, when's the last bus? And I'm like, oh, it's New York City. Like, oh, it's gotta be really late. It wasn't really late. We missed the last bus.
They called me about 12:30. Could you come and get us in New York? We can't get back because we missed the last bus. Out with this dude that I don't even know. Okay. So I'm like, yes. So I get up, out of bed, get dressed, drive in, pick him up in New York, drive home, and he comes in the house, and they stayed in the house, and he never went away.
So we went to my house, talked till like 4 or 5 a.m. And I was like, I'm not letting you drive home. We've been up all day. You're gonna get into a car accident. Like, so he stayed over, and in the morning, my sister, who's here with my nephew, she was having his shower. She was living in Hawaii, but we were going to my uncle's house to Skype baby shower.
So we had Hawaii and Scotland and my whole family to do a baby shower, and he comes in with her, and he's like, I'm Sean.
They all sent presents, and then I opened them in front of them. How was that? And so they had all the food and the cake. I got the presents though. I got those presents.
He just never went away. And 6 months later, they got engaged.
He thought he was being so cool. He's like, oh, how about we go to the museum soon? I'm like, oh, he's gonna bring that's it. In my mind, the way he actually proposed was 3 months in. We were planning a trip to the Dominican Republic. We booked everything, and then he's still on the computer, and I look over, and he's looking at engagement rings. And I was like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So in my mind, that's really how he proposed, because everything else I knew. Like, that was the big surprise. He knew he loved me after like the first week. Like, I could see he just kept wanting to say it. So I gave him a little gift. We all talked, this is a gift. I was like, oh, it's such a cute, because we were talking about like nicknames, and I was like, what about like, oh, the English thing, like, hey love, hey this, hey that. So from now on, I'm love. He calls me my love. So that's how he said it before ever getting a chance to say it. And I knew he needed to say it, but I wasn't ready to say it back. So I was like, let's do this.
Hi there, my love. She's just so kind and giving and caring. She's very smart.
Lynn is unique. She's so unique. She is different than any other person I've ever met. She's quirky, but in a good way. She knows what she wants. you know? She doesn't settle for anything less. She's brilliantly smart. Like, whoa. They're adorable together. They really are. So, no, I was really happy when she found him. And, like, it was instant. Like, you could tell how happy she was. She was gushing about him.
We can't get enough of each other. And it's true. Like, we are always together when we're not at work. We do everything together. I mean, I do all the chores when she's at work.
You can't expect too much from each other, I think. I think you really have to, you know, I think people today just think that, you know, they're gonna just, everything is gonna be perfect all the time and everybody's wonderful and you know, you're never gonna fight and, you know, they have this crazy idea that it's just gonna be the perfect thing. And it's not, it's far from it. And we both knew that and we both understood it and we've had fights, you know, but he's just such, he was, I guess it was because he was such a kind person, because I'm a tough cookie. Yes. But he was a very kind, caring person.
He was, oh, I was just going to say he was the opposite of you.
Absolutely.
But balance, in a way.
No, he was. He's very easygoing and, you know, and I'm very like...
Dynamite.
Yeah, like, let's go, you know, that kind of thing. So I think it was because, you know, he would calm me down.
Yeah.
He calmed me down a lot in life.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to take from each other, I think.
Right.
You have to take from the other person and you have to gain some of that.
Yeah.
He gives without asking. He's supportive, and I can be bitter and mean, and he just takes it with a grain of salt because he knows it's just me struggling, and that's like amazing. He doesn't pick at me. He doesn't fault me for my faults, and I know I have them. I'm definitely not an easy person all the time, or even a lot of the time sometimes, but he just always is so accepting.
I think people are looking for too much.
Yeah.
You can't look for all those other things. You have to appreciate what's in front of you and enjoy your life. And, you know, it doesn't have to be outside things that, you know, make a difference in your life. It has to be you that makes a difference in your life, you know? And the other person has to come first all the time or it's never going to work.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, very few things we did by ourselves. You know, we always did everything together, so.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I'd want to go to Target, and he goes, I'm going with you. Okay. Like, I want to go to Target myself. Can I just go to Target myself? No, I'm going to go with you. Okay.
We do everything together. We go shopping. We go, I mean, everything.
He's just always accepts me. Even when I do crazy things, you know, saying like, hey, you know, there's a despacho and I'm up at 4 a.m. and it's at noon tomorrow, 2 hours away, and I don't know what a despacho is, but let's go.
Oh my gosh, that's how it happened.
That's how it happened, the first ceremony.
So the despacho is basically a big prayer bundle. So usually it's offerings for Mother Earth. For this one specifically, it's each offering is something that we want to bring into Sean and Lynn's marriage. Like Sean and Lynn and my mom talked about which offering would be good for each individual here to like bring forth to them. So everyone will be putting like their own individual thing, just sprinkling it on.
Yes.
Really great.
Thank you.
She's, you know, we have our tapes, the tapes that we see, the tapes from our past lives and everything, and we can play them out or we can like change the tape cassette. And I have so many crystals. We both found she's like, find a crystal that you feel like is ready to be buried. Like sometimes they just get overworked and they need to go back, and then find one that you want to bring in. And she said, go outside, find a nice place outside, get grounded, and just bring up all of that junk that you want to let go. Everything, you don't even need to just feel it, think it, everything you need to let go, just with everything, every cell in your body, blow that into what you're burying. And we both did. And like you could feel it, some things you do is like you pull it out of you, like almost opening your chakras and pulling it out. Like you could feel it from the sacral, from the root chakra, like, you know, where you hold fear, where you hold your power, like just you could feel it coming out. And we buried, and then we blew in what we wanted to bring in, and it was just like so much better afterwards. so much better afterwards. And now we're ready. Yeah, we cleanse that. We let that stuff go. And now we're good.
I mean, this is for them, but it's also for you. Ceremony is always personal and global. So our personal piece, we all have our own personal pieces, and then our bigger piece today is for their union. But I encourage you, if there's anything that you want to let go of and release or bring in, this is a perfect place. I was always taught in my indigenous way, which is not unlike an organized religion. When we make a prayer and we make it in that pure way, the answer is yes. So I encourage us all to think about what we really want to manifest, and we can really make that prayer today. And then when it's released, the belief is that when that smoke goes up, it goes up to the great mystery. It goes up to God, to Allah. I'm going to call it great mystery or spirit. It's the same as God, it's the same as Allah. It's one energy. It's how did we connect and how are we able to express it? Because I think that's the most important thing. People can get very judgy into this religion or that religion or this. I believe if you can find a way that connects you to nature and to God and to spirit and to something bigger than yourself, all for it.
Usually it's been a really good ceremony if it rains afterwards because it's cleansing. So I had a feeling it was going to rain. When we were looking at it, I was like, yeah, 50-50. I'm like, it's going to rain. And I wasn't being pessimistic. I was being like, I just think it is because it needs to. Peruvian. She's placing in the ancestor of the, and feel the wind. Ho. I mean, I can't just say it because, well, it was my wedding, Despacho, but I was so amazed by it because so many people would not have come if it weren't our wedding. They would never have come to ceremony, and yet it was so genuine. When your Aunt Cindy cleared Candace, like you could see the love in the cleansing, like in her eyes, like she meant it, you know, like, and so many people in doing it, like you could see I am doing this for you. Like, I'm just so touched. This is gonna be massive.
That's what I want for her. She gets very caught up in what's going wrong. And I always say, you gotta forget that and look at the good things that you have, because this is about you and Sean and your lives together. It's not about the dress, it's not about the food, it's not about anything. That's not what's important. And she said, and she doesn't always listen, she said, I think you're right. So that was good. So I wanted to value her good things. She has many good things. Sean and her are really good for each other. And I mean, you don't always find that. So she's lucky and he's lucky. I just want him to go and be happy.
Just because you knew that when you made a vow, you promised to do and say, and if there were tough times, you just got over it. People find tough times nowadays and they just quit and they go back and find the same problems in another marriage and have to quit again. Lynn and Sean really seem to understand one another and like the same things, and so it seems that they're both really very good for one another, so I really hope and pray they have a wonderful life together.
Lynn, I honor you, the person you are, the person you will grow to be, and the couple we will be together. Together, you and I will make one world, one universe of love, ever growing, ever expanding. With my whole heart, I choose you as my wife, acknowledging and accepting your faults and strengths as you do mine. I promise to be faithful and supportive, and to always make your happiness my priority. I promise to be giving and forgiving, to make you laugh and laugh at myself. I promise to always love you and take care of you in sickness and health, in failure and in triumph. I promise to rub your back every night and any other time needed. I promise to grow with you and to build with you a better life each day as we learn from each other and always cherish each day together. You are my love, my life, today and always. Oh.
I wrote this for Lynn and Sean when I put the guest book together because their relationship is such a rock already. But this is just a reminder to always stay strong with each other and yourselves. It's called Be the Stone. When we think of love, we think sultry kisses, adoring glances, racing heart, and soft caresses. We think of sweet whispers in the dark, memories forged dancing under the city lights, and roses with petals of red, white, and pink. Beautiful. Like colors of a sunrise across sandy beaches, a flame threatening to engulf our souls. But love is more than the initial whirlwind of passion, or the comfort found in the arms of our companion. Love is putting others' needs before our own. In-laws, arguments and compromises, snoring and sharing blankets, embracing the faults of ourselves and another. Difficult. Like a storm raging through the valley, a flood threatening to wash us away. When we think of love, we should be thinking of the stone, because in true love, we're never alone. True love is laughing at a joke for the thousandth time, sharing ideas and experiences, complimenting personalities, forgiveness and make-up hugs, constant and steady, strong. Like the rugged majesty of mountain peaks, a solid foundation to dissipate the threats. In sunrises and storms, always remember the stone, party through the fires, cleansed smooth by the waters, forever grounded in each other, because true love, like stones, never break.
Love is friendship that is caught on fire. It is quiet understanding, mutual confidence, sharing and forgiving. It is loyalty through the good and bad times. It is settling for less than perfection and makes allowances for human weaknesses.
Thank you. I'm gonna need a couple. We'll just leave them.
Leave it here.
As you walk together through life as husband and wife, always remember your wedding day. A day of love, laughter, soft kisses, and sweet memories. Never forget to just say I love you every day. Give flowers just because. Have date night once a week to share your thoughts. And the little things in life make a successful marriage. We wish you love and happiness and that we've shared for over 38 years and counting.
Thank you. Sean, before I met you, before you showed me what a loving partnership could be, I didn't know a love like ours could be something more than a fairy tale. I didn't know there could exist such a kind and gentle romance, and then you showed me an unimaginable love. A love better than a fairy tale, a real love. A love that can be messy and raw, but in that lies its beauty. Sometimes the most beautiful things are. And still it shines. So today, as we begin our lives as husband and wife, before Spirit, our family and friends, I want to make these vows to you. I vow that as you are my rock, I will be a rock to you. And she didn't even know this. She didn't even know this. I will be a rock to you, and should you get stuck, I will turn to water and flow around you, easing your troubles and helping you to move again. I vow that as you're my roots, keeping me solid, I will anchor you as well. And I vow that together we will grow, sometimes gracefully, sometimes not, but always upward and strong. Together we shall grow branches that reach to the sky. We shall have roots deep in the soil. We shall make a shelter for others in our shade and in our leaves. And I vow to shelter you in the storm as you do me. As you let me be free, I shall be the wind that carries you upwards, encouraging you to soar and fulfill your dreams and goals. I will honor them, as your strengths and winds only make both of us stronger. As fire burns, I vow to grow from any flame, to be a phoenix and rise from ashes in partnership with you. For as fire must make way for change, I will see our challenges as a chance to grow into something even more beautiful, all the more precious for all that it's been through. And as the serpent sheds her skin, we shall shed our outdated ways and always turn towards love. As the jaguar protects the medicine space, I shall protect and honor your medicine as you always have done mine. As the hummingbird drinks only from the sweetness of life, together we shall relish all the sweetness and blessings we have, and be there to remind each other when the sweetness is hard to find. And as the condor flies wingtip to wingtip with spirit, I shall remember always that the spirit and sacredness that lives in you and our partnership will always be with us. Finally, I vow to always respect you, to keep you through feast and famine, sun or storm, good, bad, and everything in between. Because together we can strive to make the perfect union, to be an Aini in right relation in all that we do. This I vow to you, now and always.
But we have, in years of loss and harvest, learned a new fact of the red, the orange, the yellow, the thin blue tongue, that it opens the cone of the pine, so seeds may land on blackest soil, fertile with ash, that emerging from flame is newborn, reborn, sand transformed to glass in a ritual that shines the opaque transparent, that offers the strength of a view. We all know the story of the phoenix, but I saw you sway together in flame and rise. And now when I stare into the center of the sun, I am not afraid of the words smoldering there, the same words burning in your heart. Love is a kind of fire.
I think our relationship is just so strong, and it will continue to be. Whereas, we make it a point to be together, to spend time together. Whereas a lot of relationships, I feel like their ships passing in the night, and it's unfortunate. I try to stay up late at night to be able to spend time with her when she gets home from work. Get only 4 hours of sleep, but it's worth it. It really is.
I know. I can feel it. I'm like, it's okay.
But it's beautiful.
And it was really nice. She's grown up a lot, and that was really nice to see. And they look really happy, and I feel like they are a really good fit for each other.
Do you remember when Simba ate the zucchini bread? See? That's the bestie thing that I was talking about.
All that work for nothing. Thanks, Simba.
I mean, Lynn is obviously like the bestie forever and ever. But Sean has kind of just filtered right into that. And I don't know many people that can say they're best friends with like their best friend's, partner as well. I mean, I love them both to death.
I can't imagine life without you. I love you. Thank you.
Best friend of our
Best
relationship.
friend.
The three amigos.
I didn't relate to a whole lot of people. And like me and Lynn just had that instant connection of like best friends and tell all your secrets and like everything was safe and and she's still like that today. If I ever have a crisis in my life, she's the first person I call, and vice versa, with her. So it's a once in a lifetime friendship. That's for sure.
My babies, these are all my babies.
The tall one. This is the youngest. This is the baby.
I love that you all look completely different.
We are all completely different.
Oh, I can see that. Oh,
in a good way.
Lily, come here. This is my other daughter. Come here. I actually have 5 children. Don't tell your mother.
Very true.
You swipe to the left. When are you gonna learn?
Oh my God.
Ma, get back here.
Get back here.
When are you
Come
gonna
on, you
learn?
battle axe. Get back here.
You swipe to the left.
Nelson Mandela's favorite dish is called Galusha. It's also known as Wednesday supper in South Africa.
We have all of you here, especially so small and intimate. We learned, I've mentioned to some people this wedding workshop we did, and something they talked about is friends of the relationship. You are all here because you're important to us. You are friends of our relationship. You help us to grow. And we are grateful that you were able to come and that you will continue being in our lives. And I'm just so full of gratitude. And I don't know what else to say except cheers. Cheers. Spirits, ancestors, gods, goddess, loved ones, ancients. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for holding us sweetly and granting us this medicine and carrying this lineage. We are very grateful. All over talking to us.
At our wedding, we played Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Is this everyone?
Yeah.
That's your wish. I didn't know that everyone did.
Yeah. Everyone came out.
Awesome. Yeah, Saber doesn't want to be here. Perfect. Done. We're done.
Thank you for this land being here so that we were able to have our ceremony and yeah.
The rest of our offerings today.
I love you, Mom. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Dancing feet.
You know what? We're married. Love you.
Go inside.
These ribbons are just gorgeous. Gorgeous ribbons. That's all right.
Let's go in.
Thank you.